And then their major business, if I'm right, is to gather intelligence. And of course, when we talk of interagency cooperation, whatever they pick, they pass it on to the others, particularly the police who are physically on the ground. We see the police every now and then. So for me, that could happen in Kano on a day like yesterday was very, very sad. Because yesterday could have been an election day, okay? And it would have been even worse than that. Which again brings us to the conclusion that we are not going to have election next year, whether we like it or not.
That's your thought about it. That okay,
yeah,
Mr. Ikomo. And now you saw what happened in Kano yesterday.
Yes, sir.
What's your thoughts, and how could we have a situation where a major mosque like that could be attacked, and we didn't really see any police presence that could have averted it, that could have ensured it didn't happen? And is it that we really don't have any intelligence and we're just talking about it all the time?
Well, I want to say that my thoughts and prayers are with families that lost people in that attack yesterday. The problem is we have to look at it in the whole context. We have an ongoing asymmetrical warfare in Nigeria, Boko Haramism, and they are picking and choosing targets at will. They strike today in Bauchi, they strike in Gombe, they strike in Kano, they can strike anywhere. But now you have to create a profile. I think your direct question is police presence. That doesn't have anything to do with this right now at all, because again, we have an ongoing warfare and we are not addressing it as such. We are kind of distracted, perhaps by the politics of the times. And we are not looking at what is really capable of tearing up this country, as it were, what is threatening the lives of people in this country, and in fact, the basis of unity of this country. We are not looking at that. So we are kind of distracted. So basically, we've seen a lot of attacks against places of worship. Just 2-3 weeks ago, it was that same mosque in Kano, and 6 were killed by a suicide bomber. That is when the emir of Kano, Lamido, Sanusi Lamido, came out and said, we should, citizens should now learn to defend themselves against Boko Haramism. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. That same mosque within the last 3 weeks was bombed and 6 killed. So now it was an encore. They came back, but now we have a higher casualty figure, anything between 100 and 200 dead yesterday. But there was an interesting twist to yesterday's incident. Yesterday, they had what we call an active shooter scenario also there, because they didn't only detonate the bombs, they now also opened fire. This is similar to what they just did in the university, and then what they did at the School of Hygiene Technology also. All of this in Kano. So I'm just trying to say, so you see, we see a profile of BH fighters in that area. Kano has been a hotbed, even right from July of 2009, when the first conflagrations, because they attacked the police formation in Wudil, that very same day that they attacked, the 26th of February, July 09, the day they attacked the place Jadama Mada in Bauchi, the day they attacked the place in Yobe also, the day they started warfare against the Nigerian state. You know, Kano was on the hit list, and Kano has been the scene of incredible carnage since this Boko Haram thing started. So for anyone to start talking about police presence, that's a joke. We're not talking about riot. We're not talking about somebody stealing a goat. We're talking about people killing. We're talking about mass murder. So let's not trivialize it. This is mass murder. This is genocidal killing of people. And I think we really should address it as a serious matter, because it's when we dumb down these things that even the politicians don't see their role in governance, because this is an issue of governing. And they are not even looking at how...
I'm going to have to stop you there because we have all traveled. I think virtually everybody here, we've traveled around the world, and we have seen situations where there are threats in UK, in America, and all that. The police are the one that police what is happening, and when things go all right, that's when the military gets involved. One would expect that the police in Nigeria will do the same. If there is an issue to do with security of lives and properties in any community, the police should be the first to detect it.
That is a very mistaken assumption, I'm sorry, sir. Because I know I'm an expert, I'm an authority in security, so I'm speaking as an authority.
So
I'm not talking about, look, what you see outside. When you see outside policing, when you see police in Chicago, in New York, in London, they are doing what we call law and order maintenance.
Okay.
That is maintaining things on an even keel. Now, when you have active shooter, when you have terrorism, you have bombs going off, there are specialized units
within the
that
police.
go out,
within
not within the police, within government. Within government, it's a government. There are many agencies. You have DEA, like in the US, you have DEA, you have FBI, that go out. Now, when you get there, you define the jurisdiction. You define who has authority, because it depends on the nature of the attack. For example, you had an explosion at the mosque in Kano, Central Mosque in Kano. It's not police business who detonated. Yes, EOD, that is Explosive Ordnance Department of the police, must be on scene to gather evidence. Perhaps we can get the bomb signature. Then you must have, the military must secure the general area. We are at war in Nigeria, whether we want to declare it or not. We are at war. Let me just tell you. If just check the number of persons that have been killed the month of November alone, you see that we've lost more than they lost in the whole of Gulf War. You know, so what I'm saying is, you must look at who has responsibilities. Like Mr. Ario has said, that really is the job of the intelligence agency to sniff out who is intending to carry out these kinds of things. You understand? It's the job of intelligence to do that. It's not, police provides general security for all. But, sir, let me just take you back quickly, because the important point I was trying to make is that it is a matter of security of places of worship. We know that BH has been going after places of worship for so long. Just 2 weeks ago, that same mosque had been bombed. That's what I'm saying. So why is it that because I'm tired of calling police, calling federal government, calling Kano state government. What about the mosque? They have management in place. Why is it that Kano Central Mosque, whoever manages it, they haven't seen a need to ramp up security in that place? Why is it that they are not doing the things that other places of worship are doing to ensure that their worshippers are safe? That is the central question here. It's not about, look, the government agents, we know that they are supposed to do certain duties, but if they don't do their duty well, that's another story. But we, the citizens, we have an obligation to also keep our properties, to keep our worshippers safe.
Mr. Ikomo,
that's my point.
Mr. Ikomo, do we have enough security men to secure every single mosque and every single big mosque and every single church?
Of course we do.
In the country.
I belong to a religious, I attend a church. I chair the security committee in my church. I make sure that my church is protected. That is how it's supposed to be, ownership. When we keep saying Jonathan, federal government, police, SSS, nothing gets done because those people are overwhelmed. In fact, they don't even know what they're supposed to be doing. So let me tell you, it's not that simple. Let us take ownership. That mosque had been bombed. That's why I'm giving you the history. It had been bombed within the last 3 weeks. The emir came out and said, look, make una defend on ourselves. This one don't water down past Gary. Why is it that nobody took that as a warning? And we've seen consistent, persistent attacks. So, sir, Mr. Kayode, no offense meant when I say let's not dumb down the issue. Because I'm saying everything is not in the, everything is not in the ambit of the police agency to do. You cannot have police in every house, in every mosque, in every school, in every church, protecting everybody. It's not possible. Okay. You don't have enough. Only 370,000 policemen in the whole country. Most of them are guarding VIPs.
Yes.
Can't do that.
Let me go back. Let me go back to Mr. Emmanuel Ojukwu. Now, a couple of issues have been raised here. Let me start with the issue of politicking within the military and amongst the politicians. Would you say that the Nigerian police has been enmeshed in the politics